Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 90 of the Video Log Challenge, and today I wanted to talk to you all about how rock bottom is a great place to build from. So I was probably doing some random research, and I think I came across a J.K. Rowling quote, which if you know her story, she was flat broke before Harry Potter hit, and now she's a multi-billionaire, and she's one of the multi-billionaires that stood up to the whatever you want to call them, the head people in the world, and she was able to discern and also put a lot of messages out to people to help with this awakening, especially to the starseeds, using Harry Potter as a cover for that. So if you want to do some more research into J.K. Rowling, she's pretty incredible. But her quote being, rock bottom is a great place. No, rock bottom is a great foundation to grow from or build from. And I heard that quote and I was just absolutely just taken by it. Because there's been so many times in my life that I've hit perceived rock bottom and then I grew back from it. Stronger, better, faster than I was before. And all of a sudden I make a shift or I make a change and everything crumbles and all of a sudden it comes back up and I'm stronger, faster, better than before. And over the last 3 years, especially through the dark winter of the soul I went through, coming up out of that, I truly do feel like I'm at rock bottom, but not a rock bottom that's sandy and wet. No, I feel like I'm truly at a point where I'm at the foundation, right? I've been building this skyscraper of success for so long, didn't know really what I was doing. I like to say I build spaceships, right? And I just went to a local junkyard. I just started scrapping things together and somehow I've gotten lift off. I don't know how I got there. But what I've realized about this quote about rock bottom being a great foundation for us to grow from, it's so apropos to today's times. I mean, how many people's lives have been shifted over the last year completely? How many businesses have gone under? How many jobs lost? How many family members lost? How many family members pulled apart by the chaos and the drama? There's so many of us at rock bottom, so many of us not knowing what to do, feeling like we have nothing left. But what's amazing about having nothing left is you have nothing left to lose, and all that's left is to take those risks, to put in that work, and see where it takes you. If you've lost everything, that means you're still alive and you didn't really need it. So there's so many lessons that we gain from hitting rock bottom, but I believe that we get into this sense of comparing ourselves to everyone else, and then we start to kind of pity ourselves. We kind of become the victims. I'm in on this too, guys. As soon as you start getting in your human ego, as soon as you start watching that television or listening to the propaganda, it could quickly take you out of your resonance, and all of a sudden you really do feel like it's the end of the world. Nothing's going to work out for you, and what's the point? And what the point is to go through rock bottom, realize it's a wonderful place to build from, and then start building the life that you have always wanted, because the only reason we're at rock bottom again is because we built a house of cards. And when we build houses of cards, a little wind, one person saying something, it crumbles. And all I did my whole life was build houses of cards. And now that I finally stripped myself down in every one of my bodies, my mental, physical, emotional, spiritual bodies have been stripped completely down to the foundation. And now I'm rebuilding this skyscraper from the foundation up, from rock bottom up, because I'm not doing it again. I'm not saying that there won't be renovations. I'm not saying that there won't be office fires and things, but I'm not building a house of cards this time, and therefore the build is going to take longer. It's going to take longer to get a crew of guys to build an actual skyscraper than it is for you to sit there and stack playing cards. And that's why I use that theory. When we're sitting there stacking playing cards as much as we have, we think that it's what we need to do because you do it quick. And oh, there it is. Look, I got even further than last time. And but you can't let anything happen. You can't let anything take you out. It crumbled again. And then that's why we keep finding ourselves in these holes. But if we keep building that foundation strong, then we start building with real building materials, with a crew of people who actually know what they're doing. When we reach out for help, when we reach out for advice, when we reach out for support, all of a sudden now we're starting to build this skyscraper, and even when wind comes, it doesn't knock it over. When a storm comes, doesn't knock it over. When a fire happens in a building, it's just one office fire. Remember, jet fuel doesn't burn steel, all right? Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. So my little plug. That's why we're building this tower of success. That's why we're building it from the ground up. We're building it from foundation. We're building it from rock bottom, is because we're done having to rebuild it completely every time. Then you only have to renovate. You just have to address the old businesses that are leaving, and then redo each floor to continue to help your growth, to continue to help your evolution. That's why I call it the skyscraper of success. But we seriously, we have to stop building these houses of cards, and we have to accept that we're at rock bottom. I think a lot of times when we're at that rock bottom, we find ourselves struggling and reaching for straws to get out of rock bottom. We just want to be out of rock bottom instead of being in rock bottom, being with rock bottom, and seeing what we can pull from it, seeing what we can learn from it, so that we don't end up that deep again. Because, put it this way, guys, I've had to rip up my foundation. My foundation was bad. My foundation was cracked. There was leaks. The basement was crap. So the whole house had to be redone, remodeled, or removed, and then the foundation had to be broken apart, and then the hole had to be filled in and then redug, so that I could build an even bigger foundation than the one that was previously there. This little house of cards foundation I was building, and the longer I've been in rock bottom, which it just seems like it just keeps going down and down and down, the stronger I've become within myself, the stronger connection to the divine I've been able to create. I've trust myself more. I have my own back because that's all I really got. And that's another thing you start to realize when you hit rock bottom and you stay there for a bit, not self-wallowing, not with self-pity, but just stay there healing. Just be there completely, just keep stripping. When you stay at rock bottom for a little bit longer and you embrace it, you start to realize that it's there for you. Just like the cocoon for the butterfly in a caterpillar, that cocoon, which is technically that caterpillar's prison, and then it's so hard to wriggle out of it when it has to, when it becomes a butterfly, when it's time to fly, and you just want to be done. I just want to be out of the cocoon. I just want to be, but it's not time. And if we get out of the cocoon too quickly, we won't have the strength in our wings to fly, and then we will perish. Again, if you don't build your skyscraper of success, if you don't build your foundation strong, it doesn't matter if you build 107 floors, it'll be taken down. And so that's why it's very, very important for us to embrace this time of rock bottom, to embrace our moments where we are superhuman, where we feel like our back's against the wall and there's no one in sight to help us, there's nothing in sight to help us. That's really where we find out what we're made of. Because that is when we either choose to dig ourselves a hole and bury ourselves in that grave, or we decide to convene with ourselves, stop, ask, listen, trust, right? Stop, breathe, ask, listen, trust. Ask our higher selves, ask our light family, ask God for help. Start reaching out to other people who have been down and who have built their skyscrapers. Start really searching our souls and searching our being for what it is what we want from our lives. Because another reason that our skyscrapers have fallen before, another reason why our houses have fallen before, using this analogy, is because we were chasing something that wasn't actually ours, or wasn't actually what we were supposed to be chasing. It wasn't actually what we really wanted. Because again, we hadn't stripped ourselves down to the bare bones. We haven't stripped ourselves down to our essence of who we are. We haven't distilled ourselves from our spirits yet. And because of that, we still have these egoic pursuits that take us all the way down, because they're not in alignment with our purpose. They're not in alignment with our destiny. And in reality, if you watch this kind of content and you're about this ascension life, you don't care about the human stuff anymore. You don't care about the human drama and the human. It's time to ascend above that so that we can really remember why we're here, regain our purpose, regain our destiny, and then from there, building's like nothing. But that foundation has to be solid, and it has to have room to grow. You can't build a foundation for a one-bedroom home today and then want to expand it to a 4-bedroom home later. It's going to be so much work. You're going to have to strip the whole thing down. You're going to have to live in a hotel for 6 months. You see what I'm saying? This analogy is perfect. So if you have aspirations for greatness in your mind's eye that's massive, then you have to start sowing those seeds today for that greatness to come tomorrow. And tomorrow isn't actually tomorrow. Tomorrow could be years from now. But if you build a weak foundation, if you build a small foundation because you're impatient, because you're not ready to commit to yourself, to commit to that path that's going to be arduous, that's going to be the desert, it's not going to be easy. But if you're trying to build a skyscraper and you build a foundation for a 1-bedroom home, eventually that 1-bedroom home's not going to be enough for you anymore, and you're going to have to redo it anyway. That's a house of cards. And so what I'm saying is if you've been to a point where I've tried, and for whatever reason it's not working, then I'm telling you, it's time to come all the way back down to the foundation. It's time to break up the foundation, fill in the land, fill in the lot, and then expand it out so that you can build that next structure much bigger and much better than it was before. And then you don't actually even have to rebuild the foundation when it's time to renovate or when it's time to grow even more. We're going to be on this planet for a while, people. We're going to be on this planet for a while, especially if you're in this ascension path, especially if you're taking care of this vehicle, especially if you're choosing life. We're going to be here for a while, so it's going to take some time, but that means that why would you want to have to keep rebuilding a house every single time you want to make a change? Every single time you want to evolve, every single time you want to expand. So plant the seeds today for what you want to experience tomorrow, and tomorrow could be 20 or 30 years down the line. That's the vision. That's the envisioning we need to be looking at right now, is what do we want this next 20 to 30 years of our lives to look like? Not just personally, but collectively, because everything we do for ourselves, we do for everyone else. So if we're building our foundation super strong, if we're building from rock bottom and then showing other people how to get to rock bottom healthfully and then how to rebuild strong, that is how we shift the world. That's how we build these city of lights. And the only way to do that is with ourselves first, because no one's going to believe the shit coming out of anyone's mouth for the next decade to 20 years. So all we can do is be the beacon. All we can do is walk our talk and fly our vision. And our vision requires a foundation. And that foundation starts at rock bottom. And the ascension and the path of ascension requires us to strip ourselves down to rock bottom in order to evolve into the beings we've always been. I hope you get a little bit further on your path today. I hope you gain a little bit more clarity on your journey. I hope you can bring in a little bit more love into your heart so that you can realize that it's all perfect right now. And if you're at rock bottom, it's because you need to be. So maybe if it's a point where you're really struggling and you're at your wit's end and you don't know what to do, let go, let it be, accept, and start exploring yourself, start exploring rock bottom and seeing what it's all about, because it really is going to be the thing that launches you into the stratosphere. Because even rocket ships need a foundation. They need a base skeleton to which to build from. So I'm super proud of all of you. Day 90, I'm so excited. I'm very grateful to walk this path with you. I'm grateful that these messages are resonating. I'm grateful I get to comment and talk with you all. If there's any other content you'd like for me to cover, if there's any other ideas, if you want to do a conversation with me on Zoom and put it on this channel, that's what I'm looking for. Other than that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Again, dirt, if you're trying to regain that vitality, if you're really trying to build that foundation strong, your diet is everything, your nutrients is everything, so dirt could really help you with that. Other than that, I'm going to let you all go. I really appreciate you all. I'll see you all again tomorrow at the same time. Have a wonderful day. Have an even better evening. Goodbye.